Okay, is everyone?
Yeah, we're good.
Everyone happy?
You good, Ross? Do you hate this panel of football experts about to quiz you, or do you quite?
I'm all good. Don't worry about that.
Nah.
Yeah. What a rogues gallery it is too. I excuse Phil. Phil's here. Late transfer window.
Oh, you
yourself,
busy?
Chris.
Speak there.
Well, Ross, very, very simply, just in terms of the game this weekend, I take it, stripping it right back, just looking for a lot better than midweek.
Aye, definitely. Midweek game wasn't good enough. We all know that the performance wasn't up to scratch, and rightly so. We never took the points that we thought we could have at the time. But look, we need to play a lot better, and I think that's just the consistency we need to tidy up on.
You'd been on decent form going into that game. Can you put your finger on why it seemed to come to a halt in Paisley?
I just think on the night, as a team, as a whole, we never turned up. The performance wasn't there. The intensity wasn't there either. And St Mirren had their game plan, and they executed theirs better than ours. But it's disappointing. But now we've got to move on for that. That's in the past, and we look onto the game tomorrow, and we look forward to that.
And I guess the one positive is with the games coming so thick and fast at the moment, you've got an immediate chance to bounce back against St Johnstone.
Aye, definitely. See, all these games that are coming thick and fast, it's great for us as players. There's no too much training in between, so it's just a lot of games, and especially once you get a bad result like that, we look to bounce back straight away, and it'll be a tough game against St Johnstone, but we're all looking forward to it.
Just away from the game itself, obviously there's been a lot of speculation over the last couple of weeks about several of the players. Obviously, young Calvin's been at the centre of it. First of all, Ross, just in terms of the dressing room, does all the speculation about some of your teammates, can it distract the dressing room in any way, or affect the other players in any way?
Nah, not at all. All that kind of stuff's out in the background. Everybody's job is here to play against for Aberdeen, try and win as many games as possible, and I don't think that affects any of us. Look, if we've got top players in our team and if boys are playing well, they're going to attract interest. But as a footballer, that doesn't affect any of the boys. And even if the likes of Calvin, he's been great this season, and long may it continue.
You're still a young man yourself, but I guess you're a bit of a senior citizen compared to young Calvin Ramsey. You've gone through having to deal with speculation during your career. He's just a young lad. Have you or any of the other players felt the need to go and just chat to him about it and just say, look, just forget all that, or is it just carry on as normal?
I think you just carry on as normal. That's part and parcel of football. I think if anybody's doing well, they're going to attract interest. And as I say, Calvin's been brilliant this season. He's able to get up down the line. He's able to defend and attack. And he's been great for us. But look, as speculation comes for any top player, for any boys in the team that are playing well, and I think that's just part and parcel of football.
Brilliant. All the best.
Ross, you're playing against St Johnstone tomorrow. You could be in direct opposition to a player who was a teammate at the back end of last season, Callum Hendry, having returned from Kilmarnock and gone straight into their starting 11.
Aye, Cal's come back. I think he did reasonably well at Kilmarnock, but I know him very well. I'm good friends with Callum since he was up here last season, and I know him well as a player, so it'll be a good battle. But as I say, look, we've got a lot of respect for St Johnstone. Obviously, 2 cup wins last year, and they're a good team. Obviously, they're not doing so well in the league, but it'll be a tough game tomorrow.
Has it surprised you that they're doing so poorly in the league off the back of that great season last year? Okay, they lost a couple of key players, but the bulk of the squad was still there.
Yeah, you could say that, but I think the league this year, it's a lot more competitive. A lot more teams have strengthened, and obviously St Johnstone have struggled this season, but look, there's no getting away from it. They're still a very good team. Obviously last season with the 2 cup wins, so we've still got a lot of respect for them, but as a whole, we're confident with our squad we've got, that we can, obviously not as bad a performance it was on Tuesday, but if we can get and have a good performance of the weekend.
Free-flowing football isn't a description usually put to an Aberdeen St Johnstone game. They're usually real doer battles. So it's going to be a case that everybody roll their sleeves up, put their shoulder to the wheel, and it's got to be a combined effort from everybody to get a victory tomorrow.
I definitely, it'll be a battle. It's always these kind of games against St Johnstone, but I think tomorrow it's to be really windy as well. So it'll be tough conditions tomorrow. Know that we're used to it up here anyway, but but it'll be a tough game. You know what they're like. So as I say, they're fighting for their lives. So it's going to be tough.
All the best tomorrow, Ross.
Cheers.
Hi Ross, just the one from me. Obviously, in the wake of what was a very poor performance against St Mirren, the supporters made their feelings abundantly clear. How important is it to make it up to them tomorrow?
I think we after any bad performance, it's worth getting a reaction. I think we need to show a reaction straight away, right for the start, right for the first whistle. So, as I say, we'd gone into the game and through the midweek there, we were getting to good form, and now we're kind of back to square one. We need to go on our run again, and it starts tomorrow.
Great stuff. Thanks a lot. Good luck.
Cheers.
Cheers, Ross. Yeah, thank you very much. Good luck.
Cheers, mate. Thank you.
All the best.
Thanks, Ross. All the best. Thanks for your time.
Afternoon, Stephen.
Afternoon.
How are you?
Yeah,
Hi,
good.
Stephen.
Thank you. Good.
Good. Stephen, can we just start with transfer news? Hearing a bid's been made, an improved bid from Bologna for Calvin. Where are you with that?
We're still at the stage that I have not been told that anything's imminent. So whether there is or there isn't any bids in, it's not close enough that it's going to affect our team tomorrow.
Yeah. Keep going the way you're going. Or do you have something in the background if you do need to bring someone in?
We've got positions to cover, players to cover different positions within the squad. We've also got targets for any eventualities. So yeah, we're always doing our work behind the scenes.
And in terms of Calvin himself, how is he as this speculation continues?
He's fine. I think it's definitely affected him a touch. I think anyone can see that. But we'll get to Monday night, and I think he'll still be with us, and he'll be ready to tackle the second part of the season. I'm not surprised it's affected him a little bit, being only 18, the first time he's been through this. So he'll be ready to perform for us tomorrow. Hopefully again Tuesday night, and then hopefully for the rest of the season. But he'll be fine.
Just on that, with him being such a young lad, have you felt the need to sit him down or take him to one side and just chat about? Because it must be difficult being in the eye of this speculation at any age, but particularly when you're just a young lad.
I think the levels we're talking about and how quick it's come to him, yes, I have. I think it was important early on in this whole process for him that I spoke to him and let him know what it's going to be like, whether things happen or not, the speculation that will be there. So I think he's handled it reasonably well. It's obviously affecting him, but he's handled it pretty well, in my opinion. But it's important everyone at the club's there to support him and help him and to continue to be a top Aberdeen player.
Obviously, there's other players in the dressing room that have been through this. The obvious example is Lewis, who's been through it, and you could argue still is going through it. But how important are players like him in terms of just being there for Calvin to maybe help him through it?
I think vitally important, just as an example. Lewis, a lot of speculation about himself in the summer, and he has handled himself unbelievably, as a top professional should. And I think for Calvin to see that and look up to that, I think he'll go a long way if he does. So the fact that Lewis is here to provide that example, even people like Scott had a lot of speculation throughout his career, stuck with a club. So there's different examples for the boys to follow. You choose to follow the right ones, and your career takes the right path.
At any point in all of this, with regards to Calvin, I guess it could apply to the other players as well, but have you given any thought to possibly just taking him out of the firing line for this weekend, just letting whatever happens happen or not, and maybe just taking him away from the football matters this weekend? Are you convinced that his head's in the right place to be fully focused on the job in hand on Saturday?
Yeah, I'm convinced it is. I think anytime you're a footballer, the one time of the week that no one can affect you is when you step on the pitch. No one can talk to you, no one can influence your behaviour or anything. So top professionals go on the pitch and they perform, and that's what our players are, and that's what I'm expecting to see tomorrow.
And just a final one, and Calvin, so just as things stand, you're not aware of any bids that have come in or anything like that. And what you're saying is that the first that you'll really become aware of it will be if something comes in that's deemed acceptable to the board, and then you just have to deal with it.
Once it starts getting close, is what I've said. So once it starts getting to the stage that negotiations are happening and things might be happening, then I have to have contingency plans. But the way that we work, we already do that anyway. So there's nothing changed throughout this whole process for us.
And I guess the closer it gets to the deadline, I mean, you say you've got targets, but I guess you'll be, from a planning point of view, the clock's ticking, isn't it? So if somebody moves, even if you've got targets, it still doesn't leave you much time to bring the replacements in, does it?
No, it doesn't. But also, I think that strengthens the resolve of the club as well. So people that are planning on coming in late, I think they'll be well aware of that as well. That if it's, again, this is all hypothetical, but if there's bids coming in that are not hitting numbers and the way the chairman and the board is, I think the resolve getting strengthened will cost them more money. So we'll see what happens.
And just finally, any update with regards to I know we're talking about Calvin, but in terms of Ryan, is there anything to report with regards to their situation?
No, there's not. There's not. That probably the biggest thing we've got to report is we've actually got a game tomorrow, which is good. Great news for us is Vicente's his work permit came through, so we're clear with that for tomorrow. We're looking forward to adding him to the group. We believe he's going to help us impact the top end of the pitch pretty well. So we're looking forward to that tomorrow.
And how excited are you I mean, he seems to be he's a young man, but he seems to be very highly regarded. I mean, just how excited are you to see him start his Aberdeen journey, and what do you think he can contribute to the team? What can the Aberdeen fans expect to see from him?
I think they'll be pleased what they see. He's a quick, dynamic player playing high up the pitch. He wants to be a goal threat. Obviously, other teams don't want him to be, but he wants to be a goal threat. And he was in demand. And I think when the fans see him tomorrow, they'll see why we were working so hard to get him and why we're delighted that we managed to fight off competition to bring him here.
Right, I'll shut up now. All right, Stephen. Cheers.
Cheers.
Stephen, looking at the St Johnstone game, it's one of these ones where I know we've talked about it before, but it's presumably easier to kind of focus the players after a performance, after a defeat like Tuesday, when you say, well, look, it just has to be better than this. It's not a case of trying to maintain the momentum. You're kind of back at square one in terms of a run.
Yeah, 100%. I think it's changed from the last couple of weeks, obviously, coming in the back of decent performances. The other night, we accept that as a group, too many players, almost all players, did not perform at all on the night. And we got what we deserved. So we need to make sure that doesn't happen. It's not been the case at home. We know away from home we need to be a lot better. But we'll tackle that next week. We've got obviously Ross County away, then Livingston. So that's a different animal altogether, which we'll tackle when we get to it. But we need to pick the performance level up. We know there's a game to be won tomorrow, and we know what we need to do to win it.
There's lots of elements at play here. You were probably a bit aggrieved about the result in the first home meeting with St Johnstone. They were aggrieved about the outcome down the road. And obviously they've got their own battles in terms of where they are in the league. It should be a really, really intriguing matchup.
Yeah, all those things though. My biggest focus is the fact that we need to bounce back from the performance the other night. It wasn't acceptable by any means. The players know that, we know that, but we've got a big opportunity to put it right, and that's really my focus. Not what happened here last time at Perth last time. Situation St Johnstone are in. It's really about us and making sure that we get 3 points again.
On that one, what's your philosophy? Because as you said, I think it was difficult to maybe pick out who did get pass marks from the team, maybe a couple of the defenders, maybe the goalkeeper. Do you look to change things and kind of ruffle people's feathers, or do you charge the 11 that started the game and say, look, you cannot be as bad as that. It's up to you to go out and fix it.
There's opportunity to change things, obviously. We've got Vicente, which gives us a big chance to add him to the group. I think feathers are certainly ruffled because of the performance the other night already. So whether we choose to go similar or change, I think you'll see definitely a different performance than we gave at St Mirren.
Fantastic. Best of luck. Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Stephen, was it a bit disappointing that the lethargy that seemed to cloak the side's performance on Tuesday, nobody was able to, just take a hold of the game by the scruff of the neck and say, come on, I'm going to lead the team here. There seemed to be nobody willing to put themselves up for that position.
Yeah, I think the only time it really happened was the first half when Fergie drives forward and hits the shot with his left foot. He was pretty unlucky. But other than that, I don't recall any times in the game that it looked like we were making the running. Had plenty of the ball, didn't do enough with it. Plenty of opportunities to do better with it. But just it's a poor team performance. There's no excuses, and it has to be better, and it will be tomorrow.
Away form obviously is something to be concerned about. I mean, 2 wins and 11 on the road isn't Aberdeen style form. And now you've got a couple of tough away games come out next Tuesday and next Saturday. I know your focus is purely on tomorrow, but you'll be desperate to change that away record.
Yeah, I want to go into those 2 away games off the back of a win though. And you're right, my focus is to St Johnstone tomorrow.
Johnny Hayes missed out on Tuesday night. Is he likely to be back in the squad for tomorrow?
Yeah, he trained this morning, so we're hopeful that he'll still be okay when he comes in tomorrow on Saturday morning. So I think so. I think he'll be fine.
And Jack McKenzie, any update on his position?
Yeah, he's trained the last couple of days, first time in a while with the group, so he's got a chance to play as well. So he's obviously a little bit further from fitness, but having 5 subs helps you make that sort of decision when you're picking teams.
Okay, wish you the best tomorrow.
Thank you. Cheers.
Hi, Stephen. Just the one from me. How important is it tomorrow to start on the front foot, go out all guns blazing from the kickoff, particularly with memories still fresh of the very poor performance against St Mirren?
Yeah, I think the game will kind of dictate that a little bit, I think, because the other night, part of that was the fact that even at home, St Mirren kind of sat in and made us make the running. So we've got things that we need to do if that is the situation. I think St Johnstone are a little bit more adventurous, if you like. Look, they'll be coming here looking for a point minimum, I'm sure. So the game might be slightly more open anyway, but it's important that we impose ourselves on the game, however the game pans out.
Thanks a lot, Stephen. Good luck.
Cheers, Dave. Thank you. All right, cheers.
Stephen, can I just ask you one?
Yeah, go for it. Yeah.
Yeah, cheers. Probably detect from my accent, I've got a bit of an interest in the Welsh national team. I mean, I just wonder how you think sort of Ryan Hedges' form has been lately. I know he's got a couple of goals lately.
Yeah, it's been a while since he scored, I think, actually. But I think he's one, like with Calvin, I think he's been affected by the speculation a little bit. But we're hopeful that he'll produce again when he gets the opportunity.
And is it a real sort of ambition for him to get back in the Wales squad, sort of World Cup playoffs coming up?
Yeah, I would expect so. He's not. Yeah, he's not spoken too much about it, but it's any player that's coming into a World Cup year that's got an opportunity of that's been around the fringes of it before. That's a huge incentive for them. So a performing Ryan Hedges should be pushing his way into that, I would say. Yes.
Thanks, Stephen. All the best.
Thank you. Cheers. Thanks.
Thank you, Stephen.